do you think homelessness looks like in Hillsborough County?
People who can't provide for themselves and struggle taking care of themselves and providing what they need.
Homelessness, I don't think it's as what it is in like bigger like cities. It's probably more, they stay more hidden back and they still might be involved in the community, but not necessarily on the side of the streets, not having anything to do, eat, etc.
I think it looks like people trying to survive off the things that people can give them, like donations.
These are eviction proceedings. Grace Miller is the mother of 2 teenage children and the legal guardian of her sister's 2 young children. Grace was recently assaulted by her husband. Police responded to the domestic violence call. Her husband was arrested. Grace no longer feels safe at home knowing that he will soon be released from jail. She left with her children. She does not have a job or transportation and has been living with a friend. Grace and the children are no longer able to live at the friend's house and are looking for emergency shelter. Here is Grace. Grace, you're the mother of these children. You've got a lot on your plate, don't you? And you've chosen to leave your home in the safety of your home because you don't think it's safe. Is that correct? And you're voluntarily evicting yourself from your home and you're putting your family at risk on the streets of Hillsdale. Do you understand that? All right. You are evicted. Go find services that can assist you and your family. Thank you, Judge. With the Smith family, please step forward. In this family, we have the veteran mother and grandmother, Brooke, husband, grandfather, Kenny, daughter, mother, age 28, Casey, daughter's boyfriend, father, age 32, Alex C., child, age 8, Alyssa, and child, age 7, Edgar. Brooke is a veteran struggling with medical issues that prevent her from working. Brooke's husband, Kenny's only income. Kenny's only income source is Social Security, which is reduced because he has now reached retirement age. Brooke and Kenny are not able to maintain their rent payments. They've taken in their 28-year-old daughter, Casey, and her 32-year-old boyfriend, Alex, and their 2 children, Alyssa and Edgar. None of the adults are employed. Brooke and Kenny have sold all of their belongings, including their wedding rings, just to buy food. The entire family has been evicted and is now homeless. Where's Brooke? And you have medical issues that prevent you from working. Your family is being evicted at this time. You're going to be on the streets of Hillsdale. I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
With the Johnson family, please step forward. Okay. Mother is Haley. Father is Ben. Son, age 16, Alex M. Daughter, age 15, Jamie. Daughter, age, is it Jamie? Is that pronounced correctly? Daughter, age 12, Laura. Daughter, age 8, Riley. The Johnsons are a family of 6. The home they were renting burned down after a grease fire in the kitchen. They did not have renter's insurance, and all the parents are not living U.S. citizens. All 4 of the children were born in the U.S. All of their belongings were lost in the fire. Haley is a seasonal worker, currently laid off, and Ben is disabled and unable to work. The children are citizens, but because the parents are not, this could lead to more struggles in getting assistance at many agencies. Haley and Ben are reluctant to ask for help, and because they are afraid their children may be taken from them. The father, Wade, is a parolee. Where is Wade? Do you know what your offense was? No. You were a meth manufacturer. Girlfriend is mother, Anna. Child, age 9, Olivia. Child age 6, Katie. Child age 3, Courtney. Wade has just been released from prison and had to parole to Hillsdale County because his brother, who lives in this county, has agreed to be responsible for him. Wade's long-term girlfriend and 3 children moved with him. Anna does work 30 hours a week for minimum wage, but does not have enough to support her family for housing and other basic needs. Wade and Anna could not get along with his brother's live-in girlfriend, so they have become homeless. Neither of them is familiar with Hillsdale County, having moved from the Detroit area. It's going to be a very tough case for you. You need not to go back to drugs. You cannot manufacture, you cannot smoke, you cannot ingest drugs. If you do, we will make sure that you're locked up in Jackson Prison for the rest of your life. Now, you need to find a way to take care of these beautiful children that you have. You do not know this area. Begin by asking as many questions as you possibly can think of. It will assist you. Do not be afraid to ask for services or assistance, even from people that you don't know on the street, as long as you all stick together. That is the other thing I would caution all of the families. You need to stick together. Do not separate from one another. Are you up to this challenge? You have left your home voluntarily. You are evicted. Good luck.
Now, on the 6th, I give you a choice. I don't give you the choice. I make the choice for you. Either you get a beef rice or chicken rice, or you get a beef rice or chicken rice and a macaroni, or a beef rice and a macaroni. You know, it's my discretion.
All of this, we categorize people in terms of where they slept last night. So there's 4 categories really. You're either stably housed, unstably housed, imminently, which means you're losing your place within 14 days, or literally, which it means that you're living in a place that's not meant for human habitation.
Alpha Omega Care Center is dedicated to helping pregnant people with pregnancy, whether it's the man or the woman. We do mentoring programs with them. So our clients vary in age. We've helped people as young, teens as young as 14 or 15 that have been pregnant with an unplanned pregnancy, and we help single adults. We help single moms, we help dads, and we do mentoring with boys and men. And all of these people are experiencing some type of life-changing event, and some may choose to parent, and some may choose to adopt. And in any case, we are a safe haven for them to come and to learn more about what their options might be, and to talk, and to just have a place where they can feel grounded, and a place that they can feel like they can be open and trust people. And that's very important for, especially for teens, but it's very important for people who are dealing with an unplanned pregnancy and are unsure of what they're going to do.
I'm going to talk to you about what, like some of the things that homeless people end up getting exposed to. Obviously, you've experienced one of them today, you know, getting exposed to the elements outside when it's, you know, constantly raining, and, you know, what do? You know, some of the other things that the homeless experience, like in the wintertime, a lot of people end up with frostbite because they can't get in out of the cold. You know, you know that there's homeless here in our county, but it's felt that there are over 1 million homeless people in the United States. And, you know, that's just a phenomenal number, you know, to me. A lot of, you know, a lot of these people already have illnesses that go untreated, diabetes, heart disease. They end up with, because you do so much walking, your clothing is not good, they end up with a lot, you know, sores on their bodies, sores on their feet. They get exposed to a lot of infestation like scabies, lice, body lice, head lice, bed bugs. They have suffer from malnutrition because they can't eat, so they get a lot of the vitamin deficiency diseases, a lot of dental disease.
Or if they fall below the federal poverty line, as long as they state that they're one of those conditions is true, then we're here to provide food for them. We do tell them that the food is for them, it's not food that they can sell or anything like that, that they're supposed to use it for their family and for those that they feed. And then we have that sign, which is part of the USDA requirement as we distribute food here. And then we gather a little bit of information. So we'll do this as if you were a family that was actually coming through here. So today is 6/25. If you've never been here before, you'd be a new client. And I'd wonder, how did you hear about us? In this case, maybe Community Foundation. So, do you use any other food pantries?
No.
No. All right.
So who in your group is the one that I need to talk to about your circumstances?
Yeah.
We probably want the mom.
Oh.
That's it. So your dad and your mom. So I think my first question, or my first thought would be, if you showed up at my shelter, I would say to you, you can only see one of you at a time. So I would ask Dad, since I'm talking to you, I would politely ask Dad to exit. How many kids? 4. And what are their ages? Birth? 3, 6, and 9. Okay. So the other thing that would happen that's obviously not going to happen here today, I would want to talk to just you, Mom. So if I had somebody on staff who could look after your kids, we would do that. Or if that wasn't possible, we might go to a room where the kids could play and we could talk a little bit privately and still keep an eye on the kids.
Go through with you what would happen in this situation, okay? We never got a call last night, so since you guys just walked in today and telling me there's a death of your parents, I would have to make a phone call to see where they're at, because they're going to be in one of two places. They're going to be up to the hospital in the morgue there, or else they're going to be down at Lucas County in the Lucas County morgue. And since we didn't get a call in the night, that's what we would have to do, is look to see where they're at first. Because number one, we have to check to see if they're going to do a post-mortem exam on them if they're at Lucas County, because of the fact that something happened unexpectedly. They might say, hey, we want to find out exactly what happened, so we have to transport those bodies down to Lucas County morgue to do a post. So the first thing I'd have to do is find out their names from you, What was mom and dad's names?
Kenny and Brooke.
Kenny and Brooke, okay? So the first call I would make would be to I would ask you what police agency was there, and if you could tell me it was the city, or if it was the sheriff's or the state, then I'd make a phone call to them and say, hey, can you tell me where Kenny and Brooke are at? And then they would tell me, and then I could proceed from there, back in the room and sit down with you guys and say, tell me what type of funeral you'd like to do. Tell me what you're planning. And at this point, you'd say, I have no idea.
You wouldn't be able to afford a funeral.
Okay? That would come out a little later probably, but I would ask you still what your thoughts were and what you were planning to do. Because there is some help through the county to take care of some funeral expenses. But the next thing I would ask you is, do you have a cemetery plot? Right. So these questions that I'm asking you are all leading me to the type of the services that you might be doing. So if you didn't have a plot, I would make a note of that. And then I'd say, do you guys want to do a visitation and a funeral ceremony, or do you want to do a cremation service? And if you don't know what those are, I would explain the two to you. A cremation, we can do a direct cremation where we wouldn't do any viewing whatsoever. We would just pick up Kenny and Brooke. We would bring them back here to the funeral home. We'd get the paperwork around, have you sign papers to do the cremation. We'd take them to the crematory, and that would be the extent of your service. If you told me you didn't want a funeral for them. If you told me you wanted to do a visitation first, I would say, do you want to have them present for the visitation? Meaning we can do the cremation first, or else do it afterwards. So depending on your answers to all of my questions, then I know what type of service that we can provide for you. But then when you come out and tell me that you don't have any money for a funeral, we don't ever tell families that they can't have something just because of funds. We will do some sort of service for everybody. Didn't ask anybody, do you guys want water or anything?
No, thank you.
Okay. So we don't ever limit what we'll do here for you just because there is no funds, because we can get some money through the county. The county will provide us $700 towards the funeral service. They'll provide us $600 to do a cremation service for you. That comes nowhere near covering the cost of a service.
Yeah, how much does the cremation cost?
Okay, if you look right here, this is some paperwork I put together for the Family Independence Agency. But if we were to do a bare bones cremation, that fee would be around $2,000. Yeah, but we're not going to tell you that we won't do it for you just because you're going to turn around and tell me, I don't have any funds for that.
Yeah.
So then I would tell you, well, here's what we can do for you, given the fact that we can get some funds through FIA. So the first thing we would do is look at these forms. If you look here, funds provided by FIA, right up the top. And if you look, they'll provide $445 here for professional services. They'll give us $145 towards the purchase of a grave, $100 towards the vault, for a total of $700. So that's if we do a traditional funeral. If we say we're going to do a cremation service, we take $100 off of that because they won't provide the vault. So we just take that money off.
How long you guys been staying here? Come on. A few hours?
Get your stuff, we ain't got all night.
Back up. You guys gotta get out of here.
Get it all, you're not coming back.
Quiet.
All right, you guys are under arrest for the crime of vagrancy. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. If you start asking questions now, you can stop at any time. You understand your rights because I just read them to you.
How has your opinion of homelessness changed due to your experience?
It's made me realize like the hardships they have to face every single day and how blessed just people in the community are, and we don't even like realize how good we have it.
Just the amount of homelessness we actually have in Hillsdale County, like you don't really see it often, but when you like go to the shelters and the different places, it's really evident, I guess, that it's there. Like there's a way more than I ever expected.
I didn't know like the full extent of like how many people are like actually homeless because you don't actually like see all of them until you become homeless. You go into like the food pantries and stuff like that.
Is there anything you think we should change as a county in order to better serve the homeless population?
I think that we should try to come together and build a homeless shelter which provides like showering and like beds and also like just shelter for the homeless.
I think we should build some homeless shelters because we don't have any in our county.
I mean, I don't know how much more you can do than just like raise awareness and just like let everyone know like how big of a problem this actually is.
What do you think is the biggest obstacle for someone who is homeless and why?
Probably having a good outlook on life, because it's hard when you're homeless to have a happy outlook on life because of all the struggles and things you go through.
And just finding the basic necessities. Like we do have a lot of resource opportunities, but they're not always open or available when convenient. Like you have to go on their time. You can't always go when it's best for you or them.
Probably finding like shelter because most places are illegal to sleep at, and like some shelters like they have requirements, and if you don't qualify then you don't really have anywhere to go.
What did you learn from this process?
I learned that I am very, very blessed to have what I have. I couldn't even imagine to be homeless, what they go through. It's awful.
What was the hardest part of your experience?
The hardest part was probably realizing that we had it easy during the challenge and it was still awful. Like we had it like really easy and we thought it was terrible. So
The sleeping conditions are definitely terrible. Those were probably the worst. Sleeping in the grandstands. Not fun.
Trying to stay warm at night. We didn't have a whole lot of protection such as blankets, so it was very difficult to stay warm.
The hardest part of my experience was sleeping in the sheep barn. It was very cold and it was not comfortable sleeping on the cement floor.